Did you know that when you cast your ballot for president and vice president, you aren't actually voting for that candidate? You're really voting for a slate of electors who have pledged to vote for that candidate. You see, in this country, we have an electoral college. And to understand that, I have to take you back, way back. We the union, no. We the states, no. We the people, yes. But what next? The founding fathers were worried. Worried that if they allowed voting based on a popular vote, the biggest states would always get to select the president. So to give the smaller states a voice, they compromised and came up with the Electoral College. Today, there are 538 electoral votes up for grabs in the United States. Here's a map of all the states and each state with how many electors they are allotted. Those numbers are given to each state depending on their population. So it is determined by the number of House representatives and senators of each state. In order for a candidate to win the presidency, that candidate needs to win 270 electoral votes. Of course, the Electoral College isn't a place, it's people, just people who are chosen by their party ahead of the election to cast an electoral vote. They are usually selected because of their loyalty and service to the party. For example, if Vice President Harris wins the popular vote in California, then the Democratic electors who've been pre-selected will be the ones to cast the state's 54 electoral votes for her. And if former President Trump wins the popular vote in the state of Texas, the Republican electors who've been selected ahead of time will be the ones to cast that state's 40 electoral votes for him. Generally, electors pledge to vote for the candidate who wins the popular vote in the state. Most states are winner take all. Now, in Maine and Nebraska, things are different. Their electoral votes are allocated proportionally. Now, I don't want to alarm you, but it is true that there is nothing in the Constitution or in federal law that requires electors to vote for the candidate they are pledged to vote for. We didn't plan for that. No, you didn't. And nowadays, there's a term for those types of electors. They're called faithless electors. And the fact is, in all of U.S. history, there's only been a handful of faithless electors. None of them have ever changed the outcome of a presidential election. Now, most states do have some kind of law that requires electors to vote for the candidate they are pledged to vote for. And in some states, a faithless elector can be replaced or fined or have their electoral vote voided out. Now, aside from the electors, you have to understand winning the popular vote is not the same as winning the Electoral College. A candidate can absolutely win the popular vote, but not win the Electoral College. And it's happened 5 times in this country's history. It can't be. Oh, it can. These men became president of the United States by winning the Electoral College, but they did not win the popular vote. Whether you like it or not, the Electoral College is ingrained in our Constitution and has withstood the test of time, but it's always been controversial. Countrymen, I think we've got it. Let's sign this thing.